A lot of you veteran drag racers out there know that suspension is a very important thing when it comes to running fast times at the track. Tires come into play, but suspension is suspension. If you have crap suspension or if it's not dialed in, you're not going to go fast. You're not going to be able to hook up. Your 60 foots are going to suck. All right, guys, here we go. We finally have the car back in the garage, as you've seen probably in the last video. But since we have the car back, now is the time that we're finally going to do suspension. I've had this car for almost a year. But a lot of you veteran drag racers out there know that suspension is a very important thing when it comes to running fast times at the track. Tires come into play, but suspension is suspension. If you have crap suspension or if it's not dialed in, you're not going to go fast. You're not going to be able to hook up. Your 60 foots are going to suck. That leads us into all of this stuff here. What we have is a magnetic rod, because I do have that. Basically a GT350 spring. There's your part number. So you have more spring rate in the back. And what this is going to allow us to do is hopefully stiffen up the rear end and make the front end a little bit looser. But that way we can just be a little bit faster. But here's your front springs there. Now this is not a drag front. This is actually a performance front. So it does have a little bit more spring rate than the OEM fronts, but it's not going to hinder us in a negative way, I don't think. And then we have these guys that are going to go in the car, adjustable toe rods. All right, this is going to be very important. If your alignment sucks, that can hurt you as well. So these are a vital piece. Talking to Kelly Aiken at BMR, this is pretty much the combination that we're going to run for a little while so we can hopefully trap some better time, get the 60 foot down, and hopefully see some positive results. But here we go. All right, now like any good spring installation video, we need to actually measure this. What I'm gonna do, since it's a little bit dark and hard to tell, is I'm gonna go from basically the rim of the wheel here all the way up to the top of the fender and measure. So you can kind of gauge what this looks like thereabout to give us some kind of a reference. And this is, of course, the front. So let's go to the rear. It looks like it's not touching, but I'm actually horizontal. All right, guys, now I've done a million spring installs on this channel before, so I'm gonna link them all above because this one, we're gonna keep it fun, exciting. We're just gonna time lapse a lot of it. We're gonna breeze through it because what I wanna do is jump in the car after the install, go for a ride. But I wanna be able to translate how these springs feel with the MagneRide because I think that that's probably more important. I'm going to show you the drop. We're just going to cover the highlights. We're going to cover torque specs, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a spring install. It's not actually that difficult. But here we go. So let's get them about even, and then there is the top there, so a little bit shorter, but again, more spring rate. And both of these are linear springs. BMR makes linear springs. Stock is a linear spring. You're good to go for performance. And of course, at the end of this, once I have both sides installed, I'm gonna walk you through the torque specs because I think that that is important. Never mind the time-lapse stuff. You guys have to know the torque specs so you don't have any creaks, pops, rattles, any of that stuff. Very important. All right, time-lapse, go. I will never stop. I keep my mind free from negativity. Stone cold will on the machine. I don't know what awaits, but I am on my way. I will do what it takes to claim my destiny. I don't mind if they all came down to see you fail, but don't fall into the trap. Your time is coming back. Don't be afraid to stray up the trail, afraid to get lost in yourself. I don't know what awaits, but I am on my way. Don't know what awaits, but I'm in search for better days. And in the end, don't be afraid to get lost. All right, here is the rear comparison sake. So we have a little bit less height But you can look at the coils. We have more coils on the side. Again, a linear spring compared to the OEM back here. Remember, MagneRide, so they are counterwound just like the GT350. So this spring is specific right here, part number for magnetic ride. There you go. All right, job done. Here she sits, guys. This is it. Perfect, perfect, perfect stance. Had to say it 3 times because it is perfect. Performance front, handling rear with the MagneRide. Remember, the MagneRide cars do kind of sit a little bit different than the non, but this is the way it looks. I know that I'm losing the sunlight. I apologize. I can't help it. But what we can do is do our little measurement like we did before. Horizontal, thereabouts, and the fender, and you can see what that is. So we did drop some of the front. Now the rear, well, we're right there. Okay, perfect. That's right there on the money. But that's how that looks. So, yes, front dropped a little bit more than the rear, but MagneRide cars, I swear, they sit lower in the rear anyway, and this is the way that it looks. So, if you want to run this combination, if you've got MagneRide, 100% suggest it. So now what we're going to do is hop in the car, go for a ride, see how it feels. BMR discount codes in description, as always. Love their stuff. It's flawless. All right, let's go for a ride. Yep, still perfect. Oh, damn, I shaved. Yeah, I suck at shaving, and unfortunately it came off. So we got to grow the beard back. It is that we have a race car alignment done to this car now. So basically what that means is, well, you guys know, I'm going to share the spec sheet right now. You can see it for yourself, what we have done to the car. And basically what that means is we've set the car up to go fast in a straight line, get as much rubber down flat as possible. It also means on the street we're probably going to chew up some tires. But in the interest of going fast in a straight line with this car, the whole build, the whole process behind this whole thing, it's going to serve its purpose. All right, but the big question is, how does it ride in VH? None. So we have a basically GT350 rear spring, and then we have a just performance, not even the handling version, just a performance front, not a drag spring. It's kind of like the in-between, I guess you could say. And the car, honestly, with the MagneRide, feels about like it did stock, which is a good thing because we know that it's going to transfer weight better, but we're not losing handling. We're not sacrificing anything. We don't have this bumpy ride. That was kind of what I was afraid of, but I'm glad to say that we don't have those issues yet. I've actually put about 150 miles on the car since the install, so we are fast forwarding a little bit. Hence, you know, I had a beard earlier. Now I don't. But yep, I'm ugly. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now NVH, there is none. There's no NVH with the springs. but I also installed, and I was going to make them completely separate videos, but I went ahead and I just did it anyway. I'll probably release a video later on, maybe later this week or next week, about the adjustable tow rods and the vertical links. Now, the only NVH that I have, let's talk about NVH, noise, vibration, harshness. Let's not go in order, okay? Vibration, none. Harshness, none. Feels like stock. Jesus, I look ugly as... but whatever. Oh my God, baby face. Noise. Only when I'm coming up to like a stoplight or something like that and I'm just about to stop, you're gonna hear this. I don't know, it's probably the vertical links. They probably just they have those grease fittings, remember. This is the ones that we got. And they probably just need a little bit of grease and it'll go away, but it is just barely there. You can just barely hear something. But when you're cruising around, there's no gear noise, there's no nothing, there's no none of that. I am 110% satisfied. But here we go, some turns. So we have a drag alignment, remember, and I just want to see how this thing still handles. I don't have a camera on the outside of the car, but these are fast turns. Here we go. Yeah, no brakes, no brakes. We're just taking it. It's great. But yeah, it's great. Nothing bad to say about any of this. But what this means is that we are taking this build a little bit more serious. Remember, two accidents and I'm done. We're building the car. I was gonna keep it like street friendly, and I still kind of want to, but even if I did hear some kind of like NVH or feel it or whatever, at this point, I don't care. I just want to build a fast car. But it's cool because now we're gonna be able to put the big tires on, go to the racetrack. We're gonna go real fast in a straight line, but it's cool because I can still put on the road, take these twisty, turny roads, and I don't really feel like I've lost anything. Yeah, I'm probably gonna eat up some tires, like I said, but that's all right. That's all right. You gotta pay to play, right? You guys are probably not even taking me one bit serious because I have no hair in my face. I look like a shaved, but it's okay. I probably look like I'm like freaking 12. I'm not. I'll be 34 this year. I will say that if you've made it this far in the video, please don't miss the next one. Definitely encourage you to like, share, subscribe to the videos, because remember, we were wrecked, right? We just got the big car back. I've had it back about, I guess, a week and a half or something like that. And we have a problem. There is a problem with the car, and it's significant. But that is going to be for the next video or so. But it is a little scary, and it is a safety feature that is we're having an issue with. I'm turning around. Now a lot of you guys probably want to know about the transmission. That will be in that video. That will be in that video, but I'm giving it hell right now. Kind of. I'm holding back. I want to save it for that video because we're going to torture test the hell out of the car. But as far as suspension, this is great. This is great. Definitely encourage everybody do this. Now the real test, of course, is the drag strip. How's it going to perform? Are we going to gain anything? Because sometimes you can spend a lot of money and see very small results. That was one of the great things that Kelly from BMR told me on the phone was, look bro, you don't need all that shit. Just do this. I'm going to send you some alignment specs, take it to your guy, have him do it, and then put it on the racetrack, see what it does. Because if your wheels are doing like this when you're launching, or if you're aligned like this and it's weird, you're not going to go fast. So alignment is a big thing. That's where those tow rods come into play, and the vertical links are just there to kind of spice things up a little bit, and then springs. So we're going to hopefully be able to transfer weight. It will, you know, you want a stiff rear end, right? Stiff spring, so it'll just squat and then go. But all right, that's this video. We are done with it. Look forward to the next one. We're going to torture Chet. Radio guy cannot speak. We are going to torture the hell out of this 10R80 transmission, and you're going to see what the problem is coming up in the next one. So, yep, subscribe, I guess, if you want to see that. But other than that, I got a beard to grow, so I'll see all of you guys in the next one.